Okay, we're going to skip this first page. There's really nothing of any significance on that. Now, I want to go to the next page. And what we have here is called a polynomial. Okay, a polynomial is when I have like a sum, so like this -4 is plus -4, okay, and so forth. What I have is three different terms. And I see they have coefficients. These numbers here are called coefficients. And I see we also got some variables. And I have some adding signs, adding and subtracting. So that's what we call a polynomial. It's got more than one term in it. This one has 3. Okay, so when it says state each polynomial's degree, this is ridiculously easy, okay? You just look for the highest exponent, the highest power. So we have a third power here, so that's a degree of 3. Here we have a degree of 4, so that's a degree of 4. Here we have a degree of 7, so that's a degree of 7. Okay, so again, that's all you do on that one. Now, why don't you go then, pause the video, and then go do that. That's what you're doing on these problems here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go turn to that page, pause the video, and just state each polynomial's highest exponent, its degree. Okay, so this is where we left off in the examples. Now these are the same. I did a double copy, so I'm sorry about that. Cross those out. Okay, now here's your next page. These two are examples. Write the polynomial in proper order. I got a 15x minus 1x to the third plus 3. Now the highest power is a 3, okay? So then this negative 1x to the third power needs to come first, okay? So I cross that out. Then do I have any x to the second powers? Because after 3 you'd have a 2. It goes 3, 2, and then 1. There are no second powers. Okay, after second power you look for just plain old x's. Okay, and I have one right here. It's a 15x. So I write plus 15x. And then I have my 3. So plus 3. So that's my answer. Okay. Next problem. 5y minus 2y to the second power plus 9. Here's my highest power here. So the negative 2y to the second needs to come first. Okay, then I look for regular y's, and I have a 5y, so plus 5y. And then last, always last, you look for numbers that don't have a letter, so it'd be plus 9. Okay, so I reordered them. Now, pause the video. And you did 1 through 6. Now, you're going to do 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? I'll do number 7 with you, then you do 8, 9, and 10. So number 7, write it in proper order. There's your highest power there. So negative 6d to the third has to be first. Then d to the second, I have a 3d to the second. And then d, so plus 4d. Okay, can you do 8, 9, and 10? Pause the video, do 8, 9, and 10. Okay, go back to where we were at in the examples. So I was here. Now it says find the sum or difference. By the way, there's a parentheses right there. The copy machine cut it off. So I have 3x to the second plus 1x minus 4. That's polynomial number 1. Okay? I'm going to put number 1 right there. Plus 2x to the second plus 2x minus 3. That's polynomial number 2. Now here's how you add. What's your highest power? The highest power is x to the second. Okay, x to the second power. So I write blank x to the second plus blank, and after x to the second comes regular x. And then we need numbers without x's, so I set that up like that. Now look for x to the seconds. We have a 3 and a 2. Okay? So I take 3 plus 2, and that's 5. So that's 5. Cross out your x to the seconds. Now look for regular x's. I've got a 1x and a 2x. 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, now we have a negative 4 and a negative 3, so I need to add negative 4 plus negative 3. And those are negatives, so negative 7. That's all you need to do. Okay, the next problem, polynomial number 1, we have 8c to the second minus 4c plus 1. Negative 3c to the second plus 1c plus 5. So my highest power is c to the second, okay? So I write blank c to the second plus blank c plus blank. So c to the seconds, I've got the 8 and the negative 3. 8 plus negative 3 is what I add, so 8 plus negative 3 is 5. Regular c's, I have a negative 4c and a positive 1c. So I add negative 4 plus 1, that's negative 3. And then numbers that don't have a c, I got a 1 and a 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. Okay? Next, this is supposed to be a 10. Okay, 10. 10m to the second, polynomial number 1, I've got a 10m to the second, a negative 7m, and a 2. Minus a 3m to the second, a negative 2m, and a positive 5. Now, this time I have subtraction, okay? What you need to do with the subtraction is make it addition and then switch all these to the opposite. So that's a positive, that's going to be a negative. That's a negative, it becomes a positive. That's a positive, it becomes a negative, okay? Now, my highest power is m to the second. So blank m to the second plus blank m plus blank. So I have an m to the second here and here. So I add 10 and negative 3. Okay? 10 plus negative 3 is 7. Okay, and then m's, we have a negative 7 and a positive 2. Okay? So negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Then I have a 2 and a negative 5, that's negative 3. Okay, the next problem here. I can't really see what that number is. That's a 2. Okay, 2x to the third, negative 5x to the second, and a 1x. A 2x to the second, a 1x to the third, and a negative 1. So we have our plus, that's good, okay? So my highest power is x to the third. Okay, so I go blank x to the third plus blank x to the second plus blank x plus blank. So for x to the thirds, I have the 2 and the 1. Okay, those are the x to the thirds. Okay, 2x to the third, 1x to the third. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So we can get rid of those. X to the second, we have a negative 5 and a positive 2. Okay, so negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Regular x's, we got the 1x, and then the negative 1 then for the non-x numbers. Okay, 4n to the second plus 5 minus negative 2n, so that's what I have in polynomial number 1. Polynomial number 2, I've got the negative 2n to the second, a positive 2n, and a negative 4. So I switch that minus to plus. That's going to become positive. This becomes negative, and that becomes positive. So my highest power is the n to the second. So I start with a blank n to the second plus blank n plus blank. By the way, you're wondering why not n to the first, because n means n to the first. Okay, so n to the second, so I got a 4 and a 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. And I got negative 2. 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, negative 4m to the second, a positive 3m, and a negative 1. And then I have a 1m and a 2, but I have subtraction, so that is going to be a negative 1 and a negative 2. Okay, so my highest power is m to the second. So blank m to the second plus blank m plus blank. So m to the seconds, we have the negative 4. So negative 4. For m's, I got a 3 and a negative 1. So 3 plus negative 1 is 2. And then I have a negative 1 and a negative 2. So negative 1 plus negative 2 is negative 3. Okay, 3m and a positive 4 minus a 2m to the second, a negative 6m, and a positive 5. So the highest power, and by the way, this plus, that's negative, that's plus, and that's negative. Highest power is m to the second. So blank m to the second plus blank m plus blank. So I've got negative 2m to the second. And 3 and 6 is 9. And then 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1. Okay, now go to the assignment, and I'm going to actually do the first one with you. Got a 5a to the second and a negative. I'm actually going to do 2 of them with you. Okay, got a 5a to the second, and then an 8a, and then a negative 3, then 8a to the second, and negative 1. So we got a plus. That's good. So highest power is a to the second. So I got blank a to the second plus blank a plus blank. So for a to the second, so I got 5 plus 8, that's 13. A's, I don't have any A's, okay? So I don't have any A's, we get rid of that term completely, okay? And then I take negative 3 plus negative 1, that's negative 4. Okay, I want to see if there's going to be any more problem spots. That's what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I want to look at this one here. 6c to the second, a positive 3 and a positive 9, but then I have minus, so that's got to be plus, and that's a negative 3 and a positive 5. So my highest power is c to the second. So I go blank c to the second plus blank c plus blank. Okay, so for c to the seconds, all we have is the 6 in polynomial number 1, because I don't have anything over there. So that's a 6. For regular c's, I have a 3 and a negative 3. Now, 3 plus negative 3 is 0. So if you got a 0, you take that term out. Okay. And then 9 plus 5 is 14. So 6c to the second plus 14. Okay? Can you do the rest of those? Okay, you got 6 more to do. 3 on that page, 3 on that page. You do not need to do these ones. Okay? Get rid of those.